Hi, Cait. I am so excited to chat with you today. If you don't know Cait, Caitlin Grant, she is an Embodied by Design graduate from this past spring. And Cait and I worked together previously at the end of last year privately. We had one session together, and then you ended up joining us for Embodied by Design. So I feel like we've become great friends as well. I'm really excited to chat with you about your experience today, and hopefully other people who are looking at Embodied by Design will see themselves in you and be able to glean some of your wisdom. So thank you for joining me today, Cait.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Please tell everyone a little bit about you and your work. So what do you do in the world as far as your work goes?
Yeah. So I am a somatic life coach. There's a few different times. I call myself different things, but
Yeah.
so somatics and breath work is my main jam, my first love. So I work with clients typically in a one-to-one capacity. I do run some group stuff, but working with them through understanding their nervous system, their blocks, and different ways that their different wired patterns and energetics keeps them from living their most alive and embodied self. So it actually say embodied by design, the name alone was something that I was pulled to because I was like, oh, embodiment. That's what I do with all my clients.
I love that. And your work is so powerful. But that does lead me right into my next question. Perfect segue. So what did make you want to join EBD? And I know there was like a whole backstory to it.
Yes.
But like, what was it that you were like, I feel like I've got to do this?
So without telling the whole insane story of it, it was really, so there's like a whole domino effect of things in my life that led me to you, which is where I decided to do a one-on-one session with you when I did your intensive, the alignment intensive. And in that call, I just felt so at ease with you. I loved the way that you used human design to guide me because I had had a few readings done in the past by people that were kind of more just human design readers, I guess, if that's what they would call themselves. It didn't feel as like lit up by it. And honestly, that one-on-one call with you and just how you made my design so alive, and I saw myself in it, and I saw honestly like more of my magic in it rather than seeing the limitations in it. And it was so expansive for me that I was like, okay, I had already been on, I was already intrigued by EBD, but after our call together, I was like, I'm in, I have to do this. Like, I need to be able to incorporate this with my clients because it was so powerful.
That fills my heart with so much gratitude to hear you say that. So thank you. I'm so glad that you had that experience. And so with that said, because when we had met one-on-one at the end of last year, you were just kind of building momentum in your business. You were still in the building stage and you were also getting ready to go on maternity leave. So was there any part of you that felt like really kind of afraid to make that investment? Because it is a sizable investment, not just financially, but also with your time and your energy. So was there any part of you that was like scared?
Yeah, I was super scared. I was scared for honestly, one of the main reasons being the fact that I knew I was having a baby like a month and a half or a month-ish before the program started. And I'm one of those people that when I do a program, I really need to be doing it live. I can't just go back and like, especially something that was as long as this, 4 months. I knew enough about human design to know that like there's just such a depth of information here. And I wanted to be able to fully take advantage of that, of you, of the live calls. So I definitely was nervous about that. And it's the most money that I've invested in a certification program, and I've done a handful of them. So I was on the fence for sure, but it was there, it was my sacral yes. So learning so much about how to trust my body even more deeply, which is so ironic because that's literally 100% of what I do with my own clients, is helping them to tune into their bodies and trust it. And you supported me in that same medicine for myself. And so I just knew, I was like, this is something that I had been literally having dreams about, that human design was just showing up in my field so consistently. that I knew it wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't just like, oh, cool, this like fun thing. I knew there was something deeper here for me, and there was more magic in this that I just had to offer to the world. And so, yeah, it was really scary, but I'm glad that I said yes. And being able to, be in a payment plan made that also more accessible for me.
Mm-hmm. So now, months later, after you've completed the program, if you were to talk to that version of yourself from, that was in that space of feeling the fear and like not quite sure if it was going to be worth it or if you're going to make it back or any of that, what would you say to help guide that younger you?
I would tell her kind of exactly what I did. I would say, what do you feel in your gut? What do you feel in your body? And just trust that. Trust that this calling and this thing that is pulling to you is pulling to you for a reason. Trust the desire that is in your heart that has been here for years. Trust that that exists for a reason. And also lean into the invitation and know that, like, there was such a mystery too of knowing enough about human design to like get me in trouble, so to say, but not enough to really know how I was going to incorporate it into my business was another thing that was scary for me. Because I was like, all right, I know there's something here, but I don't really know what it is because I don't know what I don't know. And so I would also say to her, like, just trust the guidance. Like, Crystal has been doing this for a long time and has a beautiful business that she's built. Like, obviously there is a need for this magic in the world.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I can definitely relate to just that, the feeling of fear of like, okay, I know I'm taking this leap because of where I want it to take me, but what if it doesn't take me there? And that's really scary. So I love that you were able to actually just honor your body in that. So that's beautiful. Yeah. And you did mention that you've taken other training programs, certification programs as well. So would you say that this program was similar to those or unique in some ways, or, was your experience different from this program versus some of the other ones? Like how does, I don't want to like compare apples to oranges, but just in how you felt, I guess.
Yeah. So I think the majority of the longer certification programs that I've taken have been very somatic based, very like body tools, nervous system support tools. But what I really loved about this course was that it had so many different ways for me to connect with the information. So we obviously had our live calls, which we were going through the material. You had such amazing videos with visuals or audio. And I like took advantage of all of it to kind of see what would work best. And being a new mom, it was really amazing because there's days where like I couldn't just sit in front of my computer. So because I'm like trying to walk around to like get my baby to sleep or something. So I would just pop in my headphones and like listen to the audio recordings. I would download them onto my phone. And so I would say that was definitely the biggest difference, was that there were so many ways for me to like really take the information in. Whereas most of the programs that I've taken were, there'd be like a video that you could watch, the replays, and then maybe practicing, and that was kind of it. And so to not have to just stare at a recording was really helpful. It felt really good. And also it fit into my life better too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, so now that you've actually completed the program and now that you know all the things that you didn't know about human design. Where's your confidence level now? Because I know before it was sort of like, I feel like I know enough to get in trouble, as you said, but not enough to really do anything with this. How do you feel now after completing the 4+ months of the program?
I feel fairly confident now. I would say on a level of like 1 to 10, I'm probably at like an 8, 7.5, 8. And honestly, I think the thing is that I know more than I think I do. And so it almost is the point where I'm learning now how to kind of pare down my information, because it's so easy for me to just be like, blah, 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 and just sort of like vomit all over somebody, like, because I'm such a nerd about it now. So yeah, I feel really confident in it. And it's been really, really amazing holding sessions with clients. Like even when I was doing some of the practice sessions, just to start to learn how, like what my own style was in reading a chart, and being able to have those conversations and people get really lit up and feel really seen and feel so validated. Like it's been really cool.
I feel like for context, and we should have said this at the beginning, but what is your human design?
Yeah. I am a 5-1 peer generator.
So I'm like, that one is like, you you said it perfectly. You know more than you think you know?
Yes. Yes.
So, and I can definitely resonate with that. So I love you're using this with your clients now and you're feeling more and more confident probably as you practice more.
Yeah.
Have you noticed, from before when you were working with clients one-on-one or even in groups to now that you're incorporating more of human design? Have you noticed how maybe the energy has changed or your work or even the methods that you use or even the results that your clients are getting? Have you noticed a difference at all there?
Yeah, I have. I've noticed a big difference, and I'm still kind of playing with exactly how I'm incorporating human design in with somatic healing. But even just having clients give me their birth information so I can look at their chart before I connect with them has been really amazing. It definitely alters the way that I even guide them into their body, because depending on, what their authority center is, it's easy for me, and I'm even recognizing this, like as a generator, to be like, okay, like listen to your gut, and thinking that everybody has a response in their body in the same way that I do. So even that awareness alone has been so amazing, because I can look back at sessions previously and be like, well, that's why they looked at me like I had three eyes, because like they don't have a sacral connection. So it really has helped me to feel like I have like this secret cheat sheet before we even get together to be able to guide them more efficiently. And then with clients that we are discussing their design or they're learning more about their design through our time together has been really amazing, because it's sort of like this shortcut. And I hate to use that word because I don't want to demean or diminish like the transformational power of human design, but it really is this amazing way of like what we typically would take 3 or 4 sessions to get to the root of, we can see in an hour now, and talking about like, well, here's where some of the conditioning is. Here's some of the shadows that you may, like themes of shadows that just may reoccur in your life. And they're like connections are made and awareness is created so much quicker.
Yes, yes, yes. I say that all the time. I'm like, I eliminate like 3 sessions
Yeah.
right
Yes.
from the top. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So of everything that was inside of the container EBD, you had the pre-recorded lessons, you had the office hours with me, you had the workbook with all the quizzes, you had the tappings and the meditations and the journal prompts, all these different levels of support. What was your favorite part and why?
So my two favorite parts, I loved all of the embodiment work. And that was something that I didn't always follow it in the order that I was going through the material, but even now I go back and revisit it, especially, as things are really sinking in and integrating in my own awareness. And like I have found such a new level of love for tapping. It's something that like I have a certification in, I've used in the past, but never really felt very lit up by it. And through experiencing it in your container, it was different. It was much more accessible feeling. So I really love all of those videos that support, and you are like a bomb visualization guide. Holy cow. My inner vision cognition is very appreciative of your guidance skills. And then of course, like I loved the Voxer, because being able to to respond and connect in real time is something that is really valuable for me. And I can be sort of a slow processor. And so being able to just have another way to like dissect the information, even by hearing other people's questions and hearing them talk about their experiences and practicing, that was my favorite for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a popular one. The Voxer is like really cool level of support. So, well, thank you so much, Cait, for giving us your experience. Can you please let everyone know where to find you and your work in case they're really interested in the somatics and the breath work, but they really want to be with someone who understands their human design? Where can they find you?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for asking that. So my website is caitlingrant.com. It's Caitlin with a C. And then I'm also on Instagram at kate.mackenzie.grant. It's
We'll put
probably
those in the bottom there in the
okay,
notes or
great.
the caption or whatever. So
Yeah, wonderful.
excellent. Well, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure working with you, and we've stayed connected. I know we're going to continue to stay connected. So I just,
Good.
from the bottom of my heart, so much gratitude for you and the work you do in the world. So
Thank you. So much gratitude for you too.
okay.